Good morning, honored veterans, elders, knowledge holders, family and friends. It's that special time of year again when the Métis people across this country celebrate Métis Week. Métis Week is about celebrating who we are as a nation, our culture, our history, and to share our story. But this Métis Week is different than ever before. We are not standing inside or outside the Alberta Legislature. We are coming to you virtually, as we have had to do for many events since March. COVID-19 has certainly changed the way we live today in supporting our families, in caring for our sick and elderly, in doing business, and in continuing to promote the ways we can all lead by example, follow public health orders, wash our hands often, wear masks, and social distance. Together, we can and will win this battle. Each year, Métis Week always surrounds the darkest day in the history of the Métis, November 16th, the day our hero, Louis Riel, was hanged. It is a day of commemoration, a day to remember and recognize the contributions Riel made to his people and his country. The dreams he had, that the Indigenous rights of the Métis Nation be recognized, the distinct identity of Métis people be recognized, and that fairness and equality for all people be realized. That is what Louis Riel stood and died for. The historic origins of Métis people began during the fur trade. We were highly connected through kinship, common culture, language, and way of life. As our population grew, so did our awareness of who we were, part of our European forefathers and part of our beautiful Indigenous mothers. Métis leaders rose from within our nation who sought to defend our identity and our existence. There were and are many great leaders of the Métis, the unsung heroes who went unnoticed and unrecognized. Many Métis suffered and died to preserve our way of life and to ensure we had a place in this country, a country that we helped to build. That our rights as Indigenous people would be the same as those that came after, those that came from across the sea, and those who stayed behind to call Canada home after the fur trade. The man whose sacrificial death we honor and commemorate today was such a leader, Louis David Riel. Louis Riel was a natural-born leader among the Métis. In 1869, he established a provisional government and negotiated the Manitoba Act of 1870. He was responsible for the entrance of the province of Manitoba into Confederation. Encouraged by his friends, Riel entered federal politics. Successful in a by-election in 1873 and in the general election of 1874, Riel went to Ottawa. Although re-elected, Riel was not allowed to take his seat in the Canadian Parliament, despite having been properly elected as a representative from the province of Manitoba. Riel was the undisputed spiritual and political leader of the short-lived 1885 resistance. He never carried arms. A man of great vision and a prophet, he was influenced by his belief that he was chosen to lead the Métis people, and his faith in God gave him the strength he needed in the face of death. Today, November 16th, is about Louis Riel. But what governments, leaders, and individuals need to understand is for Louis Riel, it was not about an individual. It was about the collective, the rights of the collective, the nation of people he represented, fought, and died for, the nation that was here long before Canada was a country and long before Alberta was a province. So here we are, 135 years later, and our commitment and dedication to the preservation of our distinctness, our culture, our history, and our traditions is stronger than ever. On June 27, 2019, after 90 years of perseverance and struggle, the Métis Nation of Alberta signed the first ever Métis recognition and self-government agreement between the Government of Canada and a Métis government. We are now in the midst of developing a constitution for our Métis government, working on the transition plan out of the Societies Act, and securing a fiscal financing arrangement plan with the Government of Canada for the future of our Métis government. I believe we have what Riel died for, what our ancestors fought for, what the Métis Nation has been working towards for 135 years. Recognition. Recognition of our Indigenous rights, recognition that we are a nation of people, and recognition that we are a government. In closing today, I want to leave you with these words of Riel to remind us of his commitment to us. And I quote, "I am more convinced every day that without a single exception, I did right. And I have always believed that as I have acted honestly, the time will come when the people of Canada will see and acknowledge it." Louis Riel, unquote. So today, more than ever, I am convinced he is still speaking to us. His reminder to us will continue to resonate loud and clear throughout the Métis Nation homeland. To everyone, I say, stay strong, be proud. We are Métis, we are Albertans, we are Canadians. Please be safe, everyone.